Hello everyone. So I tried to do a video yesterday and I deleted it because I feel like I got kind of derailed a little bit and needed to approach it from another perspective. So here goes another retry, I guess. My main point in all of this is that there is too much money in the things that we used to or currently do enjoy. There is far too much money in it. And it's getting to the point where these hobbies that we are interested in, Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh, collecting stamps, whatever it is becoming scalped to the point where there is no sense in it. Because people from outside of the hobby, people who don't have any personal vested interest in any of these things, are simply seeing all of this as a cash grab. And at the end of the day, some people say, well, can you blame them? Because the money is just sitting there on the table. Yes, I can blame them. And I can get mad at them as well. And so should you. It won't make any difference, by the way, but we can get mad. There are people out there who are thinking about times when Pokemon was cheap, when getting into trading card games didn't cost you a booster box. You could make a deck with a couple of packs. All of these are, in my opinion, very valid things to bring up. Now you can't get into a game without buying multiple booster packs, booster boxes even, and now the the structure decks don't make any sense. There's no point in buying a Yu-Gi-Oh structure deck anymore. Even buying the current legendary classic, legendary modern decks, as it's called, I think it is. That doesn't make any sense either because those are not modern cards. Those are not what people are paying for, are playing. They're not interested in that. They're not really valuable products to anybody except a very specific niche. And at the end of the day, there is no point in them. Move to Pokemon TCG, you have fantastic products like the EX box, which are the EX decks, which gives you a brilliant jumping off point as long as you like a specific play style of the TCG. But it gives you copies of all of the cards that you will need to play a competitive game, except it's from a competitive rotation that is about to go out within a year. Meaning, if you were to only rely on that product, you would not be able to play the game for very long. And there is no, so far as I can see, officially supported non-standard equivalent kind of area within Pokemon TCG. So you're screwed in that sense as well. And now those products are being scalped because there is one shiny promo in that whole pack, and the situation is insane. Something has to give. And the Pokemon Company is not going to be the one who makes it give. They're not going to be the one who fixes things. They're not going to be the savior in all of this because they are making far too much money. They are making it so that there is no chance that you can possibly get most of their products. And everybody, including myself, goes on about you have to wait until the print runs. Wait until they actually start up this facility in 2027. Even if they do, it's too late because we're looking at the current market, we're looking at the current situation of what is going on now, and that is what matters, not the future. We can't see that far into the future. Our human brains cannot focus that far. So, in the end, the collecting hobby overall, because of Pokemon, because of this current resurgence in the kind of public consciousness, I guess, suffers. And then all of the other TCGs that the Paul brothers get their grubby little mitts on, thankfully they've moved on to something else, and that endeavor is failing. They moved on to manga, and that is not doing them very well at all, because manga is free and available everywhere online, and the high seas will always exist for those who know where to look. So, on that front, we see a lot of scalping of other products, of glassware, yes, of Pyrex. Look at Pyrex dishes. They're currently being scalped. We also see a complete collapse of a lot of other kind of hobbies, including things that you wouldn't even expect, like the price of fishing, more than likely. That will have gone up, guaranteed. The price of supplies, the price of everything. In other words, the whole picture right now is very much so reflecting the economy, which is a grossly inflated, greedy bull market. The whole economy, and indeed the whole international trade system, looks like a bull market. Everybody is bum rushing to get theirs. Companies rise and fall in a day. And hiring is not happening. It's just not happening. Like, I've been looking for a job for a long, long time, and there are no jobs out there. Just zero jobs. Or they require that you have something that you couldn't possibly have with the years of experience that you've got. All kinds of things like that. Or the worst one yet is when you apply for jobs and there is no actual job. You're just being scammed and harvested. They're either harvesting your time, your work, or your data. In the end, we look at the whole situation and it doesn't look good. The whole thing reads to me like a story that will be told. Like we tell the 2008 financial crash story. We tell that story to people as a warning about hubris, a warning about overlending, a warning about overborrowing, a warning about how the system will only take so much before a collapse happens, before the market goes bare, before everybody is terrified and selling up as quick as they can. And in the end, it makes, and this was the point that I was trying to say all the way through the previous video, in the end, it doesn't matter, because you can only invest or buy or sell or make what you can make. So take the pressure off yourself. Too many YouTube channels, including ones that I have watched quite a lot, and one of them who did inspire this channel to be created, are far too, I would say, far too bullish, if I could even use that term, in terms of what they are suggesting. They are suggesting completely taking everything from the market, because the situation can only get worse, right? And in bad times, people who are willing to walk the grey path do not suffer, according to them. Except they do suffer every time. They do suffer every time, and they lose a lot of their value. They lose a lot of their perceived value anyway. And in the end, it doesn't matter what your choices are. Because right now, if you make any choice, or you make no choice, things are going to go up and down, and we've got a lot of hard times ahead of us. We're about to go through not a world war. I won't go so far as to say that, but we're about to go through a complete stagnation point where all of the resources out there are going to start to become much more scarce, and we're already at a point where people are, who I know, are sitting with money in their bank account and they're going, well, what have I actually got in my account? Because my account says this amount, but the spending power says much, much, much less. That's never a good thing, is it? When all of these uncertainties connect together you get a kind of terrifying situation. You get people who are desperate to make money, so they will do anything. You get people who don't have a job and unemployment, despite all of the manipulation that they are saying. Most people who I know are unemployed. You get situations where the only work that people are actually able to do is inaccessible to them, is in another city. It's too expensive to travel by car already. And we're getting situations where everything is just getting worse. So people have latched on to trading cards. They've latched onto this opportunity, onto collectibles, onto the market as a sort of lifeline. If I invest in this and I time the market right, I will be able to get mine. I'll be able to get what is mine. And what they don't realize is, no, that's not how that works. You're a useful piece in the game. You are the pawn. Or perhaps if you're lucky, you're maybe a slightly higher level piece. You cost more points when you're taken out, or you give more points when you're taken out, depending on how you look at it. So then we see the entire situation before us, and we see that all of these people are quite happy to be played and quite happy to buy into all of these pieces. And what will happen next? Will they all become rich? Statistically, no. Statistically, they'll all lose out. They'll all make a net loss. And I've yammered on about this before. There are already people who are selling their entire collections and showing, instead of on the image, the actual products, they are showing the line going down in their app. That's never a good sign. Look on eBay. You can buy people's whole collections, all categorized, all sorted, what it should be worth and what it is worth now. And that's without the 30th anniversary. That's without any changes to the market. That's without improvements to the economy. That's without any of it. So in the end, what do people have other than this? Well, they've got hope, I guess. But even that's looking quite expensive these days. Everything that we love has been commoditized and turned into a grift, a thing that you have to have. You have to change things. You have to optimize. You have to change the path that you're on constantly. And if you don't, you're being left behind. You're an unoptimized, unfit, this, that person. This culture is sick. This way of living is sick. Young people are coming up into this world. I mean, I'm 30 odd now, but actually young people are coming into a world where they've never known anything else, and they're believing this stuff. They're believing the number can only go up on these products. Education's so goddamn terrible in America and in England, and perhaps everywhere else, that people think number go up always, all the time, 24/7. Put all of your money, put all of your value into this one thing. And that's not how the world works. And as I pointed out before, people are only going to get hurt from this. And there will be lessons to be learned from all of this, of course, but the people who need to learn the lessons won't learn them. Well, quite simply, that's because they didn't know they needed to learn them in the first place. And we've rotted their brains sufficiently that they think, oh, market just did market things. No. You made a risky decision and you lost whatever you lost. The result of that is not good. Whether it's Pokemon, whether it's Magic the Gathering, whether it's whatever. in the end, if you buy the product and hold it for a while, it could go up, it could go down. But in the end, it's not a worthwhile endeavor to do it if that's all the money that you've got. You cannot expect any TCG, no matter how popular, no matter how bullish, no matter how, you know, attractive it seems, you cannot expect it to just always go up within a couple of months, within a couple of days, within a couple of whatever. That's not how this works. People are coming into this market for the first time. They've never played a TCG. They've never owned cards. They've never owned a collection. They've never been interested full stop in any of this. And they're going, well, this must be how it works. This must be how our world works, how the financial system works. Money go up always. Line go up. Line cannot go down. If line go down, sell as fast as possible. That's what people are kind of working with, really. That's what they're thinking about. And they don't know the joy of what we all know, royal we, of course, which is there's more to it than that. There is collecting, there is enjoying. We're not a market to extract value from. We're not a thing to be exploited. We are a group of people who all join together and try and enjoy card games or enjoy whatever it is we enjoy, fine art, whatever it is. So, in the end, I look at the whole situation and I can't help but feel sad. And for that reason, as I look at all of the ruin that is currently befalling all of our collectibles, all of our distractions from this hellish, often hellish life of ours, I only feel sadness. Not because, oh, they got rich and I didn't. I don't care. I can be poor. Like I said, these days you don't know how rich you are. You look at your bank balance and you go, well, I've got numbers there. I don't know what they mean. No metric makes sense in this kind of economy because your money is worthless and worth a lot. You can triple your money in one day, but you can lose it all in half a day, if even that. That's a kind of world that really doesn't leave anybody anywhere to stand, does it? It doesn't leave anybody comfortable. It leaves us all high and dry. Well, eventually, we will get wet again. And when we do, we're probably going to lose some people to that. But my biggest complaint for all of this is the grifters, is the people who are trying to push this product or this product or this product. And the next week they'll say, oh my God, that product is crashing. And they won't apologize. They won't say, sorry, I lost you all your money. They will say, keep buying, buy the dip. And I'm kind of tired of it. I'm tired of the theatrics of it all. I'm kind of tired of looking at all of these YouTubers and just seeing nothing but faceless, valueless people. Even if they show their faces. I don't show my face. I don't particularly like my face. I don't have a very good webcam either. But they are faceless people in a different sense. They hide their motives. They hide their values. They hide everything behind a masquerade. And when they do, when people like that do hide their true motives, their true interests, you got to be a bit concerned because who really are they? What are they valuing? What are they doing? What are they trying to get from you? And in a market like this, where everything's oh, this is the new hottest thing, this is the new hottest thing, changing every single minute of every day. Values go up, values go down. Lots of data, but not a single person who can actually digest the information. Very few, anyway. Lots of people willing to predict the market, myself included. I did it for a bit of fun. When I even ended with, do not take this as financial advice, because it isn't financial advice. My advice is stay the hell away from the collectible community right now. Unless you've got a lot of money to throw around and you're willing to lose all of it. Or however much portion of it you're willing to lose. If that's your acceptable level of risk, then go ahead. But don't lose everything. Don't destroy yourself. Don't wreck your family for collectibles. All because we're going through a particularly bullish period. Well, bullish periods end. They always end. And people will say, oh, well, you missed out. You missed out. Sometimes it's not about if you missed out or not, in my opinion. It's about calculating risk, about looking at the situation and saying, is it worth losing my ass on cardboard? It's about saying, do I want Ascended Masters or whatever? Do I want that ETB now, or do I want it when the price either will go down, or do I want to get a product that is of some equal value years down the line? I don't know the solution. That's why I say I'm not a financial channel. But I will talk about these problems and talk about them in real terms, terms you can understand without trying to sound like an ass. And the overall message here is, I don't like any of this. I mean, people will say it is what it is. It didn't have to be like this. We can point to specific causative factors that caused this. We can point to the exact TCG that caused this. We can point to the exact moment that our hobbies became infested with these people. And we can say that we know exactly when it happened. November 2024. We can even narrow it down if we want to. Which dates were the most popular? Well, that's a level of information that you can have, but it's not anything you can control. And I'm also tired as well, and I guess this is just an airing of grievances at this point, of people saying about it's not good to be risk averse. It's not good to be scared of what is going on. Yeah, if you got a whole shit ton of money and you got money to throw around and you've got low values in terms of your morals and you just care about getting yours, and you care about creating generational wealth, whatever the hell that means these days, then yeah, sure, you can be rich. You can be an exploiter of this entire situation. And if you do, go ahead. You'll just be one of many thousands of faceless people who made a lot of money in a way that makes no sense to most people, and they'll say, oh, right, you're a bit of a weirdo, huh? And you can face that judgment yourself, or you can ignore it. You can just be like the crypto bros who say, oh, I made so much money on crypto, bro. Everybody looks at you and goes, okay, you spend it? Do you do anything with it? No? Oh, you don't have a personality. Got it. Got it. You don't have a personality and you don't have a job, so you're effectively homeless, but you have digital virtual currency that violently fluctuates. Got it. Got it. Oh, you have three Charizards. Three Charizards from base set. Oh, didn't the price go down? Yeah, it went down a lot. Oh, it's gonna go down again. It might go up. Who knows? If it goes up, I'm gonna be like so rich. Who cares? At the end of the day, who cares about these people? And that is something that I think there is a Venn diagram overlap with myself And some other YouTubers who would completely disagree with most of my points, they would probably coincide with me on that in the middle. Who cares? Because at the end of the day, this isn't all there is to life. And that's why I changed the name of this channel a little while ago from Let's Talk TCG to just Let's Talk. Well, let's talk about stuff. I'm going to shorten it to Let's Talk. It's simpler. Because I want to talk about more than TCG stuff. I want to talk about more than this, what is becoming a really, really toxic hobby. A hobby that's making me quite uncomfortable looking at it all. And I would rather be discussing things that are more cheery or more positive. Because right now there's not a lot positive going on. I mean, we're waiting for the MLP TCG to actually drop. They say it's out. I've not seen any copies of any of the decks anywhere. None of my local gaming stores have got it in stock. They've not expressed any support for it. They've not expressed that they want it or they don't. They've not said anything about it. So it's complete silence. And I think part of that is to do with latent tariff delays. This stuff is coming from China. Lots of stuff is being delayed from China. And production runs and print runs and everything like that can be slow, or can be slow to dispatch properly and allocate if you're doing it internationally and everything like that. The vanity packs are there. They exist. They look particularly good and absolutely bring back the dopamine that I so desperately need from trading cards right now, and make it so that I'm actually genuinely enjoying collecting again. But even they are 3 to 8 months dispatch, and that's kind of scary. That's a long prospect for for cards that may or may not be in stock. Kind of weird, to be honest. So to conclude, yeah, I want to talk about more positive stuff. I don't want to talk about this forever. I'm interested in TCGs. I love TCGs. I only want to talk about the ones I can actually get my hands on, and maybe every now and then do an occasional state of the games kind of address, I guess. Plenty of people are reporting on this. It's not just me. I'm not unique in this. There are lots of people who do a much better job of reporting what's going on and give information that is much more kind of well presented, I guess, more well edited, all of that. But I just need to talk sometimes. I need to speak about this problem and the problems that come up, because I've been in this for a while, on and off, and it's just kind of terrifying to see all of the things that you love being exploited so hard. Warhammer as well, Warhammer collectibles that used to be much more accessible. There's a whole ecosystem, for example, of selling old Warhammer miniatures. Well, now those are going for very expensive actually compared to what they used to be. You could buy a whole army for £80 or something back in the day. Somebody's old army, crappily painted, strip them off with a bit of Domestos or Dettol or whatever it was. Maybe not Domestos. Dettol or Pynol basically is what you're looking for, or something like that. And you get yourself a cheap canvas to work on and make your own army. That's how it used to be anyway. That's what we all did, and it worked for us. But now that market is drying up, so we want kids to play TCGs. We want kids to play Warhammer. We want kids to get into the hobby. We want people to learn how to paint. We want people to buy the expensive primer. We want people to buy the expensive rule books. But we don't want to support them at all into the hobby. Yeah. It's all getting pretty damn bad. And I can't lie, it doesn't show any signs of getting any better anytime soon. Because, like I said, when the world is chaotic, everything just goes to hell. And it stays that way for a long time until such a time that things actually start to make sense again. And they will make sense again. Pokemon cards will be cheap again. Kids will be able to play with them again. They won't just be an unobtainable thing. But until then, I really strongly suggest taking a break, if this is on your mind constantly, and walking away. It's exactly what I'm going to be doing. Walking away from TCGs until it actually starts to look more sane. And again, there are people out there who will say, no, 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 no. What you got to do is you got to stare the beast in the face and say, I'm doubling down. No, I don't agree. I think the more you look into the face of this thing, and I've looked at it for about a year, maybe a year and a half, something like that. The more that you look it in the face, you say, "What the hell is going on?" Even for normal or normal-ish market conditions, like nothing makes sense. Everything is being exploited. Collectibles are being exploited. We've got really high-profile bad actors and just generally all-around bad people like the Paul brothers. They are like they are causing so much shit in so many communities because all they have to do is show an image of something and then, oh my god, it's the new best thing. All of the sneaker bros and all of them jump into the hobby, and then they sell up, probably at a loss, and the cycle repeats, just that forever, or until the next generation comes along and they have their own version of that to deal with. So in one regard, yeah, I do agree. This is behavior that is emergent. It comes when the soil is too fertile, there is too much opportunity for growth. All of the weeds will jump in first and choke out everything else. That's what we're going through right now. But when that drops down, when the soil is slightly less hospitable and slightly more, trampled, worn, whatever, and it is getting close to that, by the way, the 30th is going to be a shit show. Genuinely, the 30th anniversary is going to be terrifying for people who have money in this. One direction or the other. That's not fear mongering, that's me saying big things are coming. I don't know which direction is going to be positive or negative, but yeah, that's going to be the tipping point for the Pokemon TCG anyway. Alright, I've talked enough. Like I say, I'm going to move on to other things. I'm going to be changing the channel a little bit. I'm going to be doing more gaming stuff and less TCG stuff for a while. I'll still be doing TCG stuff and just not the negative stuff. Shardbug's video 3 is coming at some point. I think the creator might have seen it. I'm not too sure. I did post it in the Discord, but I'm not sure if the creator of Shardbugs has actually seen it or not. But yeah, thank you for watching, and be sure to let me know if you watched all the way through.